Hey guys, Gravender here. What's going on? Welcome back to another episode of Marvel Contest of Champions and the Top 5 Abilities series. And today I have my final guest for at least the Abilities series in the original legend of Marvel Contest of Champions YouTube, Rizzo the Legend.
That's right, the original legend. I was a legend before there were legend badges.
That's right,
Rizzo.
You were a legend way before they even introduced the legend badges. So that's pretty awesome title to hold.
I'm the reason why they made. No, I'm kidding. I'm going too far now.
It could possibly be. You never know. They may have been looking on YouTube and seen Rizzo the Legend. That sounds like a good thing we can introduce into the game. You never know. You never know.
Oh, for real.
Yeah, man. Our Rizzo, I gave him a list of what was like 3 abilities that we had left on the list. So he didn't really have the most to choose from. But we are going to be going with Armor Break Champions today. So these are our top 5 Armor Break Champions. And just like any other top 5 video, these are only our opinions. If you guys have differing opinions, please leave it in the comment section down below. But leave a reason why, guys. Come on. Leave us a reason why you like that champion as an Armor Break champion, period. We need to know these kind of things. People need to learn.
I agree. 110%.
Because we're not always going to get stuff right, especially with opinions. Opinions are like buttholes. Everyone's got one, and sometimes they smell better or worse depending on the person you're with. But, alright guys, let's jump right into this one, and we'll kick it off with Rizzo's number 5.
All right, big boy. My number 5 is Cyclops, big boy. Cyclops, new Xavier School, apparently that's his new name, or Red Cyclops as I like to call him. And the reason why I'm picking Cyclops as my number 5 is because I absolutely love his armor break, especially on his L2. He's got a 48% chance to do an armor break, removing any enemy armor, applying a 45% armor reduction for 4.5 seconds. What does all that mumbo jumbo mean? Basically, if you hit your L2, it's going to armor break. And then Cyclops gets like critical, stacks. So not only is their armor broken, but you get critical stacks. You rush in, get a couple light taps and a medium swipe. You're taking massive damage. So a lot of my list guys, I put these guys on the list, not only for their armor break abilities, but because of the damage that they can capitalize after they've already broken that armor. So that's why Cyclops is my number 5 guy.
Oh yeah, definitely. And his L2, even his L1, I mean, it hits for like 5 or 6 hits.
Yeah.
That laser beam hits a ton of times. I know that much. I don't know the exact number of it because I don't really. I play with him. I've got him as a 5-star, but I don't really play with him a lot, But I absolutely, that's an awesome character. I really went back and forth on whether or not putting him on my list or not. But I guess you guys will just have to find out the further we go along if he does end up on my list or not. So let's move on in to my number 5 pick. And this is one that I'd say a lot of people are probably going to... Everybody always gets disgruntled with me about who I pick for these lists. Because I go kind of obscure. I go with characters a lot of people probably wouldn't choose. But my number 5 is HULKBUSTER. Primarily for that L2. Because you can stack up to 3 armor breaks off of the L2, L1, L3. They kind of just give you 1. But you get a pretty significant amount of damage with that L2. 93% chance to armor break, removing enemy armor, and applying 18% armor reduction for 9 seconds. Now, 18% doesn't seem like much, but you throw 3 of them on there, it's a pretty significant amount. That's, HULKBUSTER's not the heaviest hitter in the game, but with those armor breaks on, he can do a pretty significant amount of damage, in my opinion.
I think Kabam needs to fix HULKBUSTER. I agree with you. No, I was going to put HULKBUSTER on my list too, but they need to fix him. You said he's not the heaviest hitter in the game. All behemoths, every character that is huge should be a heavy hitter in the game, regardless.
They really should. I think that for a lot of the characters that are deemed as these big characters in the game, they usually outweigh their health with a little bit of a lower of an attack ratio. Because, I mean, my attack for rank 3, level 30 of 30 HULKBUSTER is only 732. And that's awakened. Yeah. So,
yeah,
it's pretty low. But I definitely agree. They do need to do a little bit of an overhaul on some of
Yeah.
these bigger characters.
I agree.
But all right, guys, let's move on into Rizzo's number 4.
All right, guys. My number 4 is going to be a tricky one. It's Doctor Strange. And I know what you guys are thinking, but he doesn't armor break all the time. I know, but going back to what I said earlier, I based my champions on the damage output that you can get from when you break that armor. Now, with Doctor Strange, it's a little tricky. He's got those 3 wisdom light things that, okay, armor, fury, and lifesteal. We're just going to talk. He's got those 3 things, right? Every 7 seconds, he alternates them. Well, that second one is like fury. And if you, this is what I do all the time, and it works for me all the time. If you got that fury going, and you have your L2 saved up, use it right when that bad boy is about to end. And you got to time it just right. That way, the first 2 hits of Doctor Strange L2 breaks the armor, your fury switches to lifesteal, and that last hit steals the maximum life because the armor is broken.
Yep.
I love this strategy. I do it all the time. Doctor Strange is my number 2 or my number 4 armor break because of this technique.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, I love, like, his L2 is absolutely amazing whenever you use it under any circumstance. Under any of Ostor's Refuge, Hogarth's Wisdom, Agamotto's Insight, any of those. It's awesome under, but I absolutely, like, here lately, whenever I get him into Agamotto's Insight, which is the enhanced attack, the Fury buff, basically.
Yeah.
There's been times where I've been hitting upwards to like 10,000 if I get enough armor breaks.
Oh, yeah.
That's the big thing. It's how many armor breaks, because it's for my rank 5, it's a 50% chance to armor break, applying 45% armor reduction for 10 seconds. 10 seconds is a pretty long time too, as far as armor breaks go.
Oh yeah, not only that, but if you're lucky enough to get an armor break on the first hit and the second hit, that third hit is gonna hit massive damage.
Right, that's problem, because sometimes when you're playing in fights and stuff, you don't really pay attention to what exactly your character's putting on the other one. But I would say, in my personal opinion, that whenever I'm seeing those 10,000 hits, it's because I've got the 3 armor breaks going on.
Oh yeah, oh definitely, yeah.
So that's a definite awesome character as far as armor breaks go. Let's move on into my number 4 pick. And again, it's probably going to be one of those more obscure characters that people are going to complain at me about, but you know, whatever. This is my opinion. These are my characters. And I have gone with Daredevil Netflix because I like the fact that, you know, you can get armor breaks with him off of parry. It's kind of in the same vein, in the same sense as Thor, but you're not going to get as much power behind the kicks and the oomph as Thor. But the big thing for me is how long the armor breaks last. 15
Agreed.
seconds.
Agreed.
You got a 15-second armor break. 83% chance to armor break stunned opponents with heavy and medium attacks, reducing their armor by 10% for 15 seconds. Now, it's anytime you parry, medium attack, heavy attack, you got a potential 83% chance to armor break, and it's going to last for 15 seconds. And if you're good at parrying, like most people are, you have to be able to do the stuff with Thor. You can potentially stack a ton of those things on, and your opponent's going to have little to no armor for a ton of time. So I absolutely love him for that fact.
Agreed. And you know what? I'm glad you put him on your list because I forgot all about him. And it's because my 4-star version of him is not duped. If he was duped, I would definitely use him a lot more, but he's not duped. So
he's an awesome character, Unawakened. I'm not really the biggest fan of his Awakened ability. That's where the two that Daredevils kind of separate themselves from me. Is Daredevil Classic's Awakened ability is absolutely spectacular. Whereas
yeah, it's insane.
World on Fire, as enemies place debuff effects on him, Daredevil becomes more determined and gains increased critical hit rate. It's not awful, you know what I mean? It's not an awful signature ability, because more crit rate hits are awesome. but it's only like at certain points if you're getting debuffs put on you, and who wouldn't take in a projectile evade over that any day of the week? But all right, guys, let's move on into Rizzo's number 3 pick.
My number 3 pick is Symbiotic Spider-Man, aka Black Spider-Man, not Miles Morales. Black Spider-Man, not Miles Morales, guys. Okay. Let me explain why. I got Spider-Man, Black Suit Spider-Man, as my number 3 character because this is the way I'm only talking to you guys based off of how I play with certain champions. Now, when I'm Symbiotic Spider-Man, I'm looking for that parry. Because as soon as I get that parry, I'm going for a heavy attack. And as soon as I get that heavy attack, light hit, medium hit, it don't matter what. Your opponent is going to be armor broken for 80 freaking seconds.
Yeah.
80 seconds, guys. That's a long freaking time. So if you can stack that, and that's the wonderful thing about it. Thank God Kabam has nerfed willpower the way that they did. Because now you can stack these armor breaks and you can deal massive damage. Oh my God, 80 seconds? I don't know if there's another champion that comes close to making your armor broken for that long. 80 seconds is a long time, guys.
And it's 100% chance off of a heavy attack.
Oh yeah, and you can stack these. Yep. You can stack these. Parry, heavy hit, parry, heavy hit, L2, match, game, set, Black Suit Spider-Man.
See, that's the kicker for him too. That L2, it's absolutely insane. Like if you look at his abilities, that's the only special attack that has any kind of significant extra perks to it, and this attack has 100% critical hit chance. So it's going to be a crit hit. It's going to be a crit hit every single time. 100% critical hit chance.
Oh yeah.
It's not rate, it's chance. The chance is the biggest thing. Your rate, it can go up and down, whatever. But your chance, if it's 100%, you're getting a crit hit. Tons of armor breaks on, crit hit off that L2. You're going to wipe somebody out in that one move.
Oh, yeah.
I love it, man. I absolutely love it. Awesome pick. Let's move on into my number 3. And I have one that I don't think a lot of people would disagree on this one. He's absolutely an insane, beastly character as far as armor breaks go, and that is the Iron Fist, or Iron Fist, whatever you want to call him. I know a lot of times whenever I do this, people always want to know, why not Immortal Iron Fist? Well, how many people actually have Immortal Iron Fist in this game?
Not me!
Not me. There's only a couple of people out there that I know of that have him, and that's people that drop tons of money and that can pop those crystals. But I love it because he just stacks on top and on top. It's kind of like that symbiote Spider-Man kind of deal, If you stack like 3 to 4 armor breaks from Iron Fist on you, pop an L2, most likely they're going to go down. I mean, it's absolutely awesome. He's got a 54% chance to break the target's armor and applying 14% armor reduction for 5 seconds. 5 seconds, obviously not that long in the game, but the fact that any critical hit has a 54% chance means you can stack them because you're going to be hitting constantly,
I agree.
So that's why I picked Iron Fist as my number 3. Let's move on into Rizzo's number 2.
My number 2, the show was already stolen. Yeah, my number 2 is Iron Fist 2, guys. And Gravender said it all. I mean, if your parry game is tight, and I mean on point, and I mean like you ain't messing up, game, set, match, Iron Fist.
Yep.
I mean, Gravender said it all already. Parry game's got to be tight though, but those armor breaks are crazy stackable.
I think that pretty much sums it up for most of these armor break characters. A lot of them. There's a couple that kind of don't exactly need the parry, but parry is such a good ability in the game as it is anyway. Good mastery. I don't know why anybody wouldn't have it. I mean, there was a point. There were some matches where it was kind of detrimental to people for things, and I'm sure that Kabam will make it to where it's detrimental moving forward and some of the other stuff because it is such an awesome ability. And Kabam, are kind of douchebags sometimes. Let's not lie. They do like to take a lot of stuff out, like nerfing Scarlet Witch for Labyrinth of Legends. But yeah, I can't disagree with that. He was my number. He was my number 3. You're number 2. I love Iron Fist. So
yeah. And how many people remember when Iron Fist had yellow gloves on his arms?
Yep. And then they updated him.
In those days, Iron Fist was my favorite champion because of his armor break, and he just ripped people to shreds.
And they changed, whenever they took the gloves away, they changed his fight style too.
Yeah, it's like they nerfed him. It was like they nerfed Iron Fist by taking his gloves away. Go search some of my old videos. You'll hear me say some of that. You'll hear me say they nerfed Iron Fist. Oh my God! I mean, it's true. I truly believe that they nerfed him back then.
It wouldn't surprise me if they put these little subtle nerfs in on just about every single character that most of the time people just don't see it when it happens.
Oh, Kabam wants to nerf Doctor Strange and Scarlet Witch so bad. They want to nerf them so more. I know it.
I'm glad that they haven't, and they have. I mean, like I was complaining a little bit about the Labyrinth of Legends with Scarlet Witch, but I'm glad that they haven't actually nerfed the characters, and they find the way to actually tweak the events instead of nerfing the characters, because they still do have like tremendous properties in things like War and Alliance Quest and just regular mission quests,
Yeah.
But all right, let's move on into my number 2, and it's another throwback to one of Rizzo's picks. I did go with Doctor Strange, and he is a lot higher up on my list than he was Rizzo's, just because I use the guy so much. Like this is absolutely my go-to character for Alliance Quest. I don't think I would use anyone unless like my Scarlet Witch was a lot higher level. But it's just the certainty for me. Like, you have a certainty with Doctor Strange that you're going to go into that defensive stage, that attack phase, that healing phase. Whereas with Scarlet Witch, it's a complete and total crapshoot, and you don't know what you're going to get. But I absolutely love his armor break ability when he does go into the Fury mode. Because like I said, I've seen him proc up to 10,000 per hit with some of that stuff. And that's potentially, Scarlet Witch range levels for some people,
Mm-hmm.
That's why he is my number 2.
I agree.
So, all right, guys, let's move on into our number 1 pick. And this is going to be the same for both of us, so doesn't really matter who goes at this point in time. We're going to be talking about the same character for a few seconds, but number 1, Rizzo.
When you talk about armor break, there's a group of champions that we've discussed, and then there's the face of the armor break ability, and that's Thor. Do you want me to put the hammer down? Do you want me to put the hammer down? I mean, I'm not going to steal the show. You guys know why he's on this list. Graver, go ahead and wrap it up, man.
Buddy, it's so much stuff. I mean, Thor is an absolute beast. Now, the key thing with Thor on that armor break ability is really Ragnarok. And the higher the Ragnarok, the more power he's going to do. And this was one of those little subtle changes that Kabam did make on a character's profile, because before it was way more pertinent, or not pertinent, but really kind of out there in your face about how much damage he could possibly do, and then they changed the wording around on it. 30% for 4 seconds on the Fury buff that you get off of being stunned, but that's not even the big deal. Stunning his opponent tears apart enemy armor, reducing it by 104.2%. 104.2% armor break.
That's ridiculous.
It is. It's you have wiped out all of their armor. It's gone. And now you're cutting into 4.2% of their actual health. So if you stack 3 of those, you're at like 200%, 212%.
I was gonna say, I hope you're not asking me to do math in my head.
I'm trying to. I'm getting a little bit better at this math stuff. But it's literally, it's like 212% if you've got 3 stacked over their normal threshold with armor. That's insane.
I was gonna say, they did. I remember when Kabam changed the wording in Thor's signature ability.
Yeah.
Because I remember right at the end, it used to say my favorite line, and it would say, "For that which smashes."
Exactly.
Yeah. They took that wording out. They should have left that in. That was like, I love that. For that which smashes.
They made it so that it was a little bit more subtle, so that people probably wouldn't catch it as easy, because that was catchy. It was very catchy. It was very intriguing to the eye to see that. I remember when that change happened, it was like completely overnight type of deal thing, where there was no update. There was nothing that I can remember going on, but someone in the Alliance, when I was in Duped, was like, "Did they change the wording on Thor?" And it just so happened I had done a video on Thor the day before they did this update, and I'm like, let me go back and check my screen. Like, I can take a screenshot from his abilities from yesterday, and it's like, yeah, heck yeah, they changed it, man. But it's absolutely insane. His special attacks, the only one that does anything special is Special Attack 1, which it gives you true damage, and it ignores all of enemies' armor. But an L2 with 3 stacks of armor break, and you're pretty much doing way over True Strike as it is anyway.
I agree.
So it's insane. Which I don't think this is a character that we need to push on anyone in this game. I think everyone in this game will agree that absolutely Thor is the absolute best armor break champion in the entire game. Period.
I agree.
But, all right, guys. So there you have it. That is our top 5 armor break champions. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully you learned a little bit of something about some of the characters in the game that you didn't already know. I want to thank Rizzo completely from the bottom of my heart for being on this episode. Love doing collabs with you, man. Can't wait to do the next one on your channel. And you guys
for sure.
Say, buddy.
Yeah. Gravender 4K subscribers. You're nearly there. I want to be the first one to say congratulations. And yeah, thanks for having me on this video, man.
Anytime, buddy. I absolutely love doing videos with you guys. Any of you, be honest with you. But more importantly, I think you're probably one of the best hype men in Marvel Contest of Champions. Probably second, maybe a little bit of second to probably Super Gaming Family sometimes. But as far as hype goes, dude, I absolutely love the energy that you bring to these kind of things, and I think everybody else does too. So, guys, definitely, if you're not subscribed to Rizzo, please go over, check out his channel. Rizzo is absolutely hype. He's intense. Love the videos he does. Got us some insane stuff on Marvel Contest of Champions, Pokemon, just about anything you can think of. He's probably going to be starting to do sometime in the future. But, buddy, love having you on. Guys, thank you guys so much for watching. If this is your first time watching the channel, please consider leaving a sub on it. If you did enjoy the video, please leave a like on it. And as always, guys, remember to like, share, comment, subscribe. We'll catch you in the next one. Later.